Alright, so let me connect to my server here. Let me connect to ZMPT1. Oh, this is too. Okay, did you notice that was passwordless? I didn't have to put in the password, okay? So we were working on Putin, right? ID Putin. So what I'm gonna do is we have Putin, and we added a group add Russia. So let's see here if the group is there. Cat etc group, and this is where you will see the groups, the list of groups that are in the system. Okay, so what we did was ID Putin, and he's a part of a group Ukraine. Let me just start all these over here. So confusing, right? Alright, so let me clear this. ID Putin. And what I'm gonna do is user del -d Putin, okay? And Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new user. I'm going to say user add terminator. Okay, and then I'm going to do ID terminator. So what will happen here is the system creates the user with the ID, and at the same time the user creates ID for group with the same ID. Okay? Oh, actually the group ID is different, I think, because we specified the group ID here. That's kind of good though. And then these are the list of groups the terminators belong to. Okay, so alright, so this looks good to me. Okay, so let's proceed here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add another group here and make that group as okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new group. Okay, so I'm going to clear this and I'm going to say group add -G. What I'm doing is I'm making him a primary group, and this time I'm going to give the group ID is 9000 and the group name is machine, because Terminator is a machine, right, from the future. So I'm going to put him in a machine group. Okay, so let me put this in here. Alright, so group add. So group add is just a command. -G is specifying group ID, and then 9000 is the group number. Okay, and machine is the group name. and this is the git number. Okay, now if we do ID terminator, so what you see here is, so we created a group here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna assign the ID. We're gonna put terminator into this group here. Simple as that. So how are we gonna do that? We're gonna do user mod. User mod means modify the user. -A means add or append. G means group. Capital G means secondary group. And what is the group we're gonna put him in? Machine. And who are we gonna put into the machine group? We're gonna put terminator into the machine group. And if I do ID terminator, this terminator has been assigned to the machine group. Okay, there you go. That's a secondary group. Okay, these are the list of groups. He is in a group of its own, and then he is a part of another group which is called machine.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Is there any limit for the user to join how many groups?
Probably not. In a real world scenario, the most I see is like 3 or 4.
Okay.
Because you got to remember the local user IDs are only the application ID. The companies, most big corporation, what are they doing is they're using LDAP or Active Directory. That's if they're using Active Directory, then that's not our job. That's Windows job. People in the Windows administration, they are the one who will take care of that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I used to be in the Windows environment side, and you had a very good question. One user used to belong into many groups. So that was really complicated on the Windows side. But for Linux guys, so far, I've seen like 3. I don't think I ever seen more than 3. Alright, so this is the command user mod, and -A means add, and uppercase G means secondary group. Okay, add secondary group, and we're putting him into the machine, and we the name terminator. Okay, alright.
Swell bhai,
Yeah.
I got a question. If you use like a small g,
Yeah, if you use
while
a
adding
small
the-
g, what will happen is it will knock this off. This
okay,
terminator will be kicked out of this group, and he will be the part of primary group machine. So this is his primary group. Okay? So he
Okay.
will be kicked out, and then his primary group will become 9,000.
oh, okay.
All right, so let's continue on.
Thank you.
That's a great question. Very good. So we did user mod 9000, right? Okay. So if you do, in fact, I'll show you here. User mod hyphen lowercase g 9000 and terminator. What I'm doing here is, instead of using the machine name, I'm using the machine ID. Okay, you could do that too, no problem. And if I do ID terminator, there you go. He kicked out of this terminator group. He's not in there. The only group he is part of machine group. Okay, from here, let's work on assigning group preparation. Okay. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to clear this, and I'm going to do ls slash, and okay, so I'm going to remove this. Oh, the reason it didn't remove it is I forgot the slash. Okay, good. Let's start from scratch. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make a directory mkdir assignment. Okay, and if I do ls-ld assignment, okay, these are the permissions here. He got like a root and all that. So let's continue on. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna do go into assignment, cd assignment, and if I do ls, there is nothing here. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna do vi terminate John Connor. Okay, that's his assignment. So I'm gonna put it in here, kill John assignment. Kill okay, and I exit out of there. Then I'm going to keep one more assignment for the terminator. Terminate Sarah Connor. Okay, this is just a file here, okay? So I'm going to say terminate Sarah. All right, let me save and exit. And if I do ls-l, what do I have here? So look closely at the permissions here. So this is going to evolve a bit, and the change settings window. I thought I had it a large number here. Okay. And this part. Okay, so I'm going to highlight this here, root. Okay, look here. Even at this moment here, the person who could read is everybody, and nobody else could write except the user root itself. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the permissions here. In fact, let me change the permission for the folder itself. Okay, and what I'm going to do is okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my home directory, and I'm going to do chown -r as in Robert root :9th machine. I'm going to give the ownership to the machine. Okay, and I'm going to do and then the directory. And let me go into cd assignment ls-l. So now you see whoever is in the machine group can actually read to it. Oh, I should have shown before going in there, but that's okay. So what -r is going to do is folder as well as okay. It will change the folders as well as the files inside it, because we are doing it to the folder and we are doing the uppercase R. So if you notice earlier here, what I have highlighted here, it was root, but it's machine now. So let's go in there. I'm going to log in as a different user. Oh, I'm sorry, terminate user. So I'm going to say root when I go like that, actually I went into the different. I'm going all the way from my main server. From there, then I have to go inside this server again. ZMPT 10 dot. Let's see what's the history is. All right, so what I'm going to do is let me set Terminator's password. The command is PASSWD Red Hat, I mean Terminator. Okay, I'm going to clear the screen. Yeah, but I should still be able to see those things here, right? Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch user as Terminator. And it's asking me for the password. Okay. Now I'm a Terminator. I have an assignment. So I need to go into the assignment folder and look at my assignment. Okay. CD assignment. I could go in there. So everybody has, if you look at the directory permission itself, everybody have the execute permission for the directory. Okay. What has been is anybody could get in there. And now if I do ls-l and let's see ID Terminator, we did ID Terminator. Okay, so as a Terminator, he should be able to read this because this is machine, right? This is machine permissions. Which part is machine permissions over here right now? In this highlighted area, which one is machine permissions?
Read.
Oh, great. Very good. Read is the machine permission. This tiny area is for machine. And this part here, whose permission is that?
Root.
Root, very good. So if I'm a root user, I should be able to read and write.
Yes.
And what machine cannot, even the Terminator is not able to do anything much here. Okay, so let's stop him and see if he could, if he could read it or write to the machine. Okay, if he could write.
Grant the permission then?
No, first we're gonna see how the permission is denied, and then
Okay.
we're gonna go ahead and
Assign the permission.
Yeah, assign the permission here. So he's able to list he's even able to list it. So let's see here over here. Let's see if he's able to VI. So he said, okay, let me look at my assignment. So he's able to write the assignment here. But look on the bottom here.
Read only.
All the way on the bottom here, he is read only. Okay?
So if he is not allowed to write, so how come in the VI editor works?
That's the permission thing.
Okay.
Right here, not allowed. Read only, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah. Got it.
Because why is it read only? It makes sense, right? Because of the permissions.
Right.
Because of the permission for machine is read only. Okay, let me get out of here. Now in the second window where I am as root, if you notice me, I am here as a root. Oh, this. I think this window got frozen here, so let me log in here again. Okay, so now since I am root here, I should be able to do what I intend to do. So let's see here. You all see I'm logged in as root here, root user. All right, it's not working the way I want it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into CD assignment and I see ls-l. So I'm going to give this file the permission. This one doesn't have, it has only read permission, not the write permission here. So what is the, can somebody tell me how do we do write permission here?
See it.
Okay, so let's see here. Let's go to main document.
Chmod.
Yeah, okay, good. So guys, everything is at your fingertips here. The way I have set up is so that you could just go and take a look and it's readily available to you. Okay, so permissions is, what do we need to do? If we are using the number, you do a number, you have to calculate a lot more. But in this case, we just use the letters to assign him the permissions. Okay? So let's assign him the permission. So I'm going to say chmod and how do we assign the permission for group only? For group only.
-G, I think.
Yeah, G plus.
G plus.
G plus write. And which file we're going to do that to? John Connor. And let's do both files. Okay. So over here, if you do ls-l, so now you see the permissions are set here.
Yeah, read and write.
Yeah. Oops. The permissions. So you have permissions here, read and write. Read and write for Terminator. Where is he? For this guy. Read and write. So let's see here. I think we have to get out of here and get back in there, but let's try it. So let me do VI Terminator John Connor. Okay, down on the bottom it does not say a read only. So we're gonna go in there and say, we'll say mission failed. Save and exit. Okay, and same thing for Sarah Connor. Okay, now in here, even though the root is the owner of the thing, owner of the file, and machine owner is the group. Okay, I'm repeating this again. Since Terminator is part of the machine group, if you do ID Terminator, see, he's part of a machine group. And we gave permission only to machine group. The moment we kick him out of the machine group, he won't be able to do it. All right, so let's see here. So assign and then assign permission. And he's able to go in there. Good. Terminator is able to. Okay. All right. So I'm taking it very slow here. I think they should be pretty easy so far, okay? Any other questions? Okay, so
Right.
yeah, go ahead, please.
Why I cannot save an exit from the Terminator. So what should I do now? It's showing me read only.
Yeah, so go back where you are logged in as root, and you have to do this step. Or also, I think you may have missed this step too. Um, you have to have do ls have an ld on assignment and see what happens.
Okay. Not taking it.
You want to share your screen?
I got it, Chalo. Yeah. Fine.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's add one more user here. All right, so another terminator is coming from future, so let's add him here. And this is T2. It's terminator 2. Okay, so what it's gonna do is let me add the user real quick. User add T2. Okay, and then I'm gonna set his password T2. I'm gonna do it red hat again. Okay, good. Now what I'm gonna do is let's see if I do ID T2. So what happens is he's in the group, user group 9001, and that group is T2. Okay, that is a system generated group T2 and a system generated group ID T9001. It's probably starting from 9000 because we ask system to use a starting from 9000. So the last one was 9000, the next one automatically is going to do 9001. So if we had not played around with it, whatever the default was from the login definitions file, it would have captured that. Okay, so let's add him to the machine group. Okay, user mod. Can somebody help me here? And I'm adding him as a secondary group.
So F1 A capital G.
Very good. -A capital G secondary group. And now what I'm going to do is I have to give the machine name, which is machine. I'm sorry, the group name. Group name is what? Machine. And the user ID is T2. So if I do now ID T2, he is part of a group 9000. Okay, so now let's see here. On the other window, what I'm going to do is I'm a terminator here, right? So if I do SU, oh, come on. All right, I'll just do it here in this window, okay? Since this is, let me clear this. So if I am if I switch to T2, so if you're a root user and you're switching to some other user which is less than a root user permission, it won't ask you for the password. Did you see that? Do you see how big the authority a root user has? It just doesn't care. It won't even ask for the password. He just switched to the other user. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to CD assignment, and if I do ls-l, and if I go in here, terminate Sarah Connor, and I do have write permission also. So the second one is she escaped. Okay, and then we're gonna save and exit. Do you see how the permissions are working? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna exit here, exit out of here. All right. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into I'm gonna go into CD/assignment, and if I do ls-l, let me remove the permission for John Connor, okay? So how do I remove the permission? chmod, I want to take out the group permission. Take out the group permission. I don't want any terminator to be able to read John O'Connor anymore. I want to remove terminator permission, which is a group permission for reading and writing.
G minus RW.
G minus RW, very good. And name of the file. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to T2 again. And if he tried to, let's look at the permission, ls-l. So look at here, there is such a big gap here. There is no permissions for here. So if I do vi terminate John Connor, it says a permission denied. It cannot open up a blank screen, but he is not able to see the content. There is a content in there. Or let's try cat terminate John Connor. It says permission denied. Now, what do you think will happen, Terminator? If we switch to Terminator and if we try to read the file, what will happen to him? All right, if I do cat terminate John Connor, moment of truth, what do you guys think? Is the user terminator going to be able to read the file or not?
Yes, he will be able to read.
No, no. Look at here. Look at the permissions part. We removed it.
Okay, no. Yes, yes, you're right.
So terminator is part of machine group. So was T2. T2 was part of a machine group too. So if we do cat here, there you go, permission denied. So what I'm trying to do is, you're changing the permission. You're changing the permission for the group here, right? And with one permission change, you are able to deny access to 2 people. In the real world scenario, if you had like 50 people, the moment you don't want to give access to 50 people, you just change the permission for the group. There you go. The group permission is gone for all the users. Okay, that's how the group and the permissions work. The thing is, all this thing is easy, and sometimes it gets you complicated here. So the easier way to keep this easy is to not to complicate it. Just understand the concept here. All right. Assignment. So he is able to terminate here up until here. And so we change the permissions. So I'll make a note here. The read and write access for terminator and T2 is gone, is removed. Okay, there you go. Okay. All right, I'm going to save this here. So the permissions, group permissions, uh, so the permission part for all of them works the same. Okay, even for the group and all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in so the group permission part is done here. Okay, I'm going to say done with group permission. Yeah, you have a question? And what I'm going to do is I have a big list here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste here so that you will have later on as a different topic. You could just use it as a reference guide. Before that, what I want to do is access. Okay, I won't do that. So let me. So let me talk about. There is another topic in here called FACL. FACL. File Access Control List. I keep getting disconnected here. Anybody else is getting disconnected?
Zafar, I cannot log in into any of the servers.
Oh, he cannot? Alright, I'll check it in a minute here.
Me too. Zafar.
You are into the main server though, right?
Yes, I'm into the main server.
Okay. Alright, so Okay, so let me. What is your server IP?
10.1.10.32 32 178 and 62. I mean, sorry, 34 178 and 62.
Sound right? Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
All right, so they're coming up. All right, the first one is working. The second one, yeah, second one is working. I'll look at the third one. Yeah, 1 and 2 are up. A third one will be coming up soon. Okay. All right. What we should do is let's take a break here.
Zafar sir,
Yeah.
for me also is not working. 53 and 119.
53. Okay. All right. Let's take a break here. I'll bring. I'll check all of them and then bring them up.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We'll be back by 11:50 Central. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'm back here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Okay. Good. Let's get going. So. Yeah, I started a bunch of servers here. Some of them were down, so you should have it running now. Okay. So let's take a look here what FACL means, FACL. So, all right. So, you can see my screen, right? Okay, good. Let me clear the screen. And let me see ls hyphen LD assignment. I'm in the wrong place. Okay, if I do ls-ld assignment, we have the permissions here, right? For other, you have read, write, execute. Okay, so what I'm going to do is for other, I'm going to remove all the permissions here. I'm going to do chmod how do I remove the permissions using the letters again? I'm going to say O ls read write x assignment. Okay, and if I do ls-ld assignment, you see the permission is gone. Okay, and there is one other thing we could type is get facl, get FACL, get file access control list for assignment folder. So this is much more spelled out here. File name is assignment. Okay, and owner is root, group is machine, and owner's permission is read, write, execute. Okay, and the machine is the group owner, and his permissions are read, write, and other is nothing, just blank. Okay, so okay, so I remove the permissions for other. Other user, they don't have any permissions for the directory. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear the screen and I'm going to add a brand new user that doesn't even have anything in there. Okay, so this time I'm going to add another terminator, user add T9000, T9, just keep it T9. Okay, and his ID is T9 is 9002. Let me go ahead and set up a password for him too. In reality, the passwords are very complex. Okay, we're just putting red hat just for the sake of this class here. But in reality, when you're putting the password, make sure you don't share with anybody and then make it complex password. Okay, now let's go in. I'm going to switch to SU T9. I'm T9 now. And then I'm going to go into CD assignment. It says the permission denied. Okay. Why is the permission denied?
Because we changed the setting for other users to.
Yeah.
No.
Zero.
Yeah, very good. Other users has no permissions.
Zero.
Now he can't even get in the computer. Not computer, but assignment folder. Okay. All right. So now, what I'm gonna do is, this is gonna get really interesting, and you'll like it. To assignment directory for other users. And I'm going to highlight this part here. Now, what we're going to do is, we're going to give, so even though he's part of other group, we're going to give him permission for the directory only to one user. Okay, so let's get tricky here. So the command is setFacle, S-E-T, file access control list. Okay, then -m as in Mary. Okay, -m stands for modify. Then I'm going to say U as in user. So I'm going to specify user. Which user is this? I'm going to give the
T9.
user. Go ahead.
T9.
T9 assignment.
Yeah. So username is T9. Very good. And colon, I'm going to give him the read, write, execute permissions. Read, write, execute permissions for the assignment directory. Oh, I have to be root. That's a good example, right? I mean, a regular user just can't come in and do this. Okay, and if I do facle and the ID, get FACL assignment. Now you see here, now this is only the specific user here. This specific user has read, write, execute permissions. Okay, so let me copy this part here. So here is the command, set facle is the command, -m means modify, u is in lowercase u is in user, t9 is user id, read write execute. Okay, and I'm gonna put this here. Grant permission to specific user. Grant permission to specific user to specific folder. Let's do a directory. Okay, so where do you see the specific folder permission for specific users? Right here. Okay, if you compare what you have here and what you have earlier, let's do this here. Okay, so we have this here. So what we have is the permissions here is for the specific user here. Now let's try accessing the folder as T9. Okay, so let me clear this. Let's do ls-ld again. Assignment. Actually, what you see here is, if you see a little,
playing on this HomePod.
okay, if you look carefully here, you will see a plus sign here. What does a plus sign represent? That means there is some kind of special permissions attached to this folder. Okay, facle is there. I think ls hyphen. Okay. Now access ST9000. So let me get away from here, and what I'm gonna do is SU2 T9. SU hyphen T9. So I'm into T9 now. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the assignment directory here. Look, earlier he was not able to get in there either. Okay, so let's see, and he's not even a part of a machine group. T9 is not even a part of machine group. He's just on his own. Okay, let's see if he's able to get in. cd/assignment. He's able to get in fine. And if you do ls-l, he's able to get in there too. Let's see if he's able to go into read the file here. he's able to read the file. Let's see if he's able to write the file. Okay, but he is not able to write to the file. Why is he not able to write to the file? So look at the file permission itself. For file permission, he is other, and that file is not assigned specific. The file is not assigned specific permissions. Okay? So what you have to do is, let's remove all the permissions here to the file, and then let's try to assign him that. Okay, so let me copy this part here. I'm going to mark it as read only, okay? So he is there. We switched to 29,000 and he is able to get in there. The user is able to get into the directory and read file. So he's able to read and read the file here. Why is he able to even read the file? Because the individual file is allowing to read him. Okay. Individual file permissions. Okay, good. Now, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna exit out of here. I'm gonna go into assignment, and I'm gonna create a new file here. Touch, save, John and Sarah. Okay, if I do ls-l, save John and Sarah, these are just the regular permissions here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say get facle, so over here T9, I'm going to give him only, grant him the permission for this file here. Okay? So how do I set the permissions? Is the same thing. Set facle. Set facle space -u read write, and then I'm gonna give the name of the file save John and Sarah. Okay, if I do ls-l save John and Sarah, and now you see a little plus there. That means there's a special permission set for this. Okay, so let me do ls-l. Now what is the group permission on here?
Read, write, execute.
Very good. And who could do that? Who in the group, which group can do that?
Assignment.
No, assignment is not the group.
Oh, no, not the assignment.
Machine.
No, I'm talking only about this line here. File name save Sarah, John and Sarah. Okay, and this is whose permissions are this for?
Root.
That's
For
the
the
group.
root,
Yeah, and the highlighted permissions are for root, and what is that? Root what?
Read, write, and
Execute.
execute.
For root user or root group?
Group.
Yeah, very good. If a machine could come in here, machine won't be able to write to it. Machine could only read it. Because terminator, when he comes in here, he will be part of the other now. Here, terminator, he will be part of the machine group. But when he come here, he will be using this permissions for this specific file. Okay. Honestly, you don't need to deal with the facle as much in your real world environment. Okay, so let's switch to okay, before that let me put this here. Okay, I'm gonna switch to T9, and if you do ID T9 again, he's not part of any specific group. And look at this here, he's root, this is root, and these are the permissions for other. Okay, but we set the facle permissions, right? Actually, let's do get facle here. Okay, over here is specifying the user T9 has specific permission here. So if I go in as user VI John Connor, there you go. Mission accomplished. Okay, very easy. But it's not that difficult either. So the user is able to get in there. If this is a script file, if you want to execute it, he could execute also, no problem. Why? Because he has read write execute permissions. Okay. So there is, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna put down in here the, it's just a cheat sheet, okay? Let me put down a cheat sheet of permissions here so that you have it. And I will make a separate menu here, okay? I'll make a separate menu here, permissions cheat sheet, so that you have it there. So let me just copy it for you. I would say permissions cheat sheet, okay? So this is just a revision here. What is U means, group means, and all that. And I have predetermined all the scenarios here so that you would use. These are the commonly used ones. I'm using it here, number wise, okay? And let's see what else I got here. And this is just an exercise you could follow. This is something I did it in my last class. And this is just a revision. You don't have to memorize all this here, but it's a good place for a reference if you want to go and see what exactly is happening real quick. That is what is happening here. Okay, now there's one small topic. We wrap it up for today, and tomorrow we're gonna start the disk management. Very important class tomorrow. Okay, starting tomorrow. Now there is a couple other things for you. Go ahead. You have a question?
No.
So there's another topic here, mini topic, managing the password age of a user. Okay, so what I'm gonna tell you is this. Password age. Remember early on I talked about the password expiring and all that, right? But in reality, that is actually enforced. Managing the password is enforced because of the obvious reasons. Okay, so let's see what is the password. You're going to find out the information regarding the password information of a user. So let me do CHAGE. Okay, that's the command. -L and name of the user is Terminator. So what is happening here is we have information here. Last password change is today. Actually, we started the new user today, so obviously it's going to be the today's date. Okay, and the way we set up, we're not enforcing anything much here. What we are doing here is we're telling the system the password never expires. Okay, and this is like an inactive user. If the user inactive. So what happens is if you're not going to job and you're not logging into the system for like 2 weeks, automatically the system the password goes into inactivity. Okay, and then account expires. Account expires means Terminator. User ID Terminator, does it expire or not? It says the settings are set to never. And the minimum number of days between the password change, or we don't have anything set up either. And the number of days between the word change, password change. If you have like a large number set like this, that means it's not enforcing anything. Okay, let's change that. What I'm going to do is CHAGE, okay, -M is for modify. Let's do it for 60 days. Usually what happens is the password should be changed in 60 days. Okay, so I'm going to put it as 60 days and -M 60, okay, and -L I'm going to put that as 60 also. And who is this for? Terminator. So -M is 60, right? That's what I gave. CHAGE -M minimum days. Okay, so minimum days I'm giving 60, and the maximum days I'm giving 60, and I'm doing list and account aging information. So I'm gonna say I, sorry, instead of L, I am supposed to put capital I. Okay, so let's copy this. So let me make a table here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so hyphen M means, so it's right here. Lowercase m means minimum days. Okay. Maximum days. And hyphen I means capital I, uppercase I means inactivity, after 60 days of inactivity. So actually I should put this as 60 days. I'm going to put this as 14 days of inactivity. Okay. So the minimum days between the password entity change is 60 days. Minimum days, and the maximum days it could stay on is 60 days. And after 14 days, if there is no activity, the password is going to lock. It's going to expire anyway. Okay, so inactivity of login. Okay, now let's take a look here. I'm going to do chage hyphen L hyphen L and then terminator. Okay, there you go.
Mr. Zafar,
Yeah.
so without the I part, will it not expire?
The way it is set up here, the originally, without, no, not expire, no. If you're using today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And after 5 days you use it, okay? The password
Okay.
is not going to lock out. If you continuously don't log into the system for 14 days, then it will lock your password out.
Okay.
Okay, what will happen is when you log in again, it will force you to change the password.
Okay. And then this minimum 60, maximum 60 is just the default time where
Yeah.
it'll make you change. Okay.
Correct. So what will happen is
Question.
yeah.
Once you get lockout, so how you gonna unlock it?
No, then this is for the users. This is not for us. This is for the regular user. Root
It'll
is the,
just make them change the password, right?
Yeah.
That's what he's asking?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is for not for the root user. This is for the regular user.
Regular.
Yeah. So, but root is the king. That's what I'm telling you. Once you have a root access, you got everything.
Right.
Yeah. In the Yeah, so all right. So moving along. So okay, yeah, here is the date also. It says February 19th, that is today because we created the user today. And the password expires in um, April 20th. So April 28th must be 60 days from now. Sounds about right. 2 months, okay? And May 4th, if you are not active from now until May 4th, the password will expire. See, May 4th is, we gave 14, right? So 14 days from now is May 4th. How is that possible?
That's March 4th.
March 4th. Um
I think it's 14 days after the maximum research expiration.
okay. Yeah, you're right. From February 28 is 14 days. So password expired 20 and then maximum is inactive is password inactive is May 4th. So for 60 days plus 14 days is 74 days. If the password inactive after password expires. I was thinking because I know for sure the system, if you're not logging in to the system for 14 days, it may have happened to some people, if you go on a long vacation like a month, and when you come back 14, or when you try to log in, you have to call help desk to set the password up. So I'll check up on that and I'll let you know tomorrow if it's 14 days. But looking at it, it says 14 days from the date it expires. So the password, if the password expires, if you let it expire, right? And so what I'm thinking is happening here is if you don't do anything until April 2025, right? If you try to log in, you should still be able to log in with your old password, okay? On May 4th, your old password will not work either. Okay, on April 25, it will log you in, but it will force you to change the password. That's what it is, I think. I'll confirm that and let you know tomorrow.
I think, is it after it expires and then you go to the inactive date, it locks the account, so only an administrator or root user can
Yeah,
unlock it
that
then?
is correct.
Okay. I think that's what it is, right?
Yeah. So between April 20 and May 4th, when you log in, it will take your old password, but it will force you to change the password at that moment. After May 4th, it won't even allow you to log in. That's what I think. I'm not sure. I'll confirm that and I'll let you know.
Okay.
So tomorrow, what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on disk management. So we kind of covered major topics already. So we have covered the user administration and permissions, and then the next one we're gonna do is disk management. That's the major one. And once that is out, we are actually going towards the end of the class. So I think we may have another 4 weeks or 3 to 4 weeks before the class is over. So, but here this information I put here is informational. You could use it. Okay. All right. All right, so I'm going to end here. Tomorrow we'll start again at same time, and then as soon as the video is ready, I'll upload it. Any questions, put it in the chat and we'll go from there.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Solvay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.